Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matthew. Happy birthday to you. Can you believe 40 years old and you've got a job and you've been married and still married and you have children all before 40. What an accomplishment.
Happy birthday, Matthew. Can't believe our nephews and my children are turning 40. Hope you have a great day.
Oh, by the way, Matthew, you're my favorite oldest nephew.
Have a good day.
Bye.
So the very first time I met Matt was my 4th or 5th date with Justin, and he invited me to play trivia with his roommate and some other people. And I had so much fun, and I think we got 2nd or 3rd place. So I was so excited that his friends like to play trivia too, and we're actually good. And then find out, salud. Then find out that his roommate is actually his brother. So it was even better than I thought to have soon-to-be brother-in-law that loves trivia, loves games, is so much fun, and, likes to have a good time. So cheers to Uncle Matt on his 40th. We love you lots and are sorry to miss the fiesta, but hope you have a great time. Aiden and I love you. You blow a kiss? Mwah.
I'm Larry, and Matthew, you and I have been together for over 3 decades. I've got lots of stories I could tell, but I'm going to try to keep them short. One of the moments I was most proud of you, and I've never told you about it, was when you set the course record at Nature Walk Golf Course. Matthew, I've always thought of you sort of like Deion Sanders. And I mean that as a high compliment, because Deion worked hard using his natural God-given talents. You have those same God-given talents, but you work hard too. The only time I've ever been happy in my life in Gainesville was when you were identified as one of the top 1,600 8th grade students in Florida by the Duke University and invited to the University of Florida campus to be recognized. I was happy that day in Gainesville. Never done it before, never done it since. Because Matthew, you like the rest of the family, you know we all bleed garnet and gold. We have no orange and blue allowed in our lives whatsoever. I appreciate the help and support you gave me when Clay died. That was special. And I'm reminded of that Christmas where you rode by the yard and stopped, took care of the lady's lawn ornaments, and she chased you down to the house, woke up Candy screaming about how you had made her reindeers humping in the front yard. You have had a wide range of things. But one of the best days for both of us was when I hired you at Nate Sanitation to help us run the business. You did a good job. But more importantly, you found a career path, because you and I both know the most important profession on God's green earth is garbage pickup. If it wasn't for that, you can't have any of these other professions. Garbage pickup is the most important. I know you know that. And so now you have a career path, and garbage is in your veins. So, from one garbage man to another, happy birthday, Matthew. Make it a great one. I love you, Larry.
Happy birthday, Matthew. So Matthew and I weren't raised together. Our parents got married later in life. And as most of you know, I am much older. So I was out of the house and gone to college when our parents got married. And so Matthew actually became my friend in adulthood. We actually became closer later in life because that's when we actually got to spend some time together. And I guess my best memories of Matthew are the fact that he always
always goes above and beyond for my kids and for us. He always reaches out and makes sure he doesn't miss a birthday or a holiday gift, and he's always the best gift giver. Actually, that might be Caitlin, but the two of them are dynamic gift givers together, so I don't know who to give the credit to. But I have to say that my best memory of Matthew was when my brother passed away, and he, of course, was there and came running, and we spent hours and hours sharing stories and reliving memories, and we put together a slideshow, and it was extremely therapeutic and difficult, but Matthew helped me, and we went through pictures and we went through songs, and it was an integral part to my healing, and it was and has always been incredibly generous of him, what he did. Unfortunately, the Florida sun got the best of the slideshow, and so no one actually got to see our incredible masterpiece, but we did, and we worked on it together. And I love you, and I'm so glad that you are here, and you were born, and you made it to 40 like the rest of us have been for many years. So happy birthday, Matthew. I hope this is your best decade yet. I love you. Bye.
So 30 years ago, Matt had his 10th birthday party at my house in the Cove, my little house in the Cove. And he brought some of his friends from his soccer team and from the neighborhood. It was great. We had the usual pizza and cake and ice cream. But Matt came with an agenda for that birthday party. He said, "Dad, I want to do a Nerf battle." I go, "Oh, okay. Nerf battle. What could be bad about that? What's better than imaginary slaughter of your friends?" So I thought, why not? Let's do it. So teams were picked, rules were recited and agreed on. I was picked as a referee to tell who was shot, who was not, that kind of stuff. I went back to get all of the Nerf guns, the handguns, the shotguns, the machine guns, the rifles, the bombs, you name it, we had it. As I was coming back out to distribute all the weaponry, I noticed the couches were being repositioned, kitchen chairs were moved all around, cabinets were open, kids are trying to crawl into the cabinet, see if they can fit, hide under the table, hide in the closet. And I thought, oh, okay, I guess we're serious. And so battle was waged. Shots were fired all across the entire house, everywhere. And it was, kind of interesting to watch. Everyone had different strategies. Justin's was the ambusher. He would find a really fortified position and wait for you to show something, and then he would shoot you. And Matthew, not so much. He's the hunter. He was always looking for that angle that he could shoot you without you even knowing that he was there, right? So he was not getting the upper hand on that. Justin was winning out quite a bit. And if you know Matthew and Justin, that is not the natural order of things, at least at that time in their life. Matthew was not happy about that. So, being the creative person that he is, he got his team to direct their fire at me, the referee, because if I could not see that they were being shot, I could not call them out. So they would shoot me and then swarm JB's team. This did not sit well with the referee or the opposition team. So debate ensued, right? I mean, it was raging. Well, what if I sneak out the back door and sneak in the front door? Well, what if I kick you in the crotch and then shoot you? It just went on and on. I mean, you do not know the different permutations of rules that were considered. But Matt came by and said, "Hey, Dad, I got an idea. What if we turned out the lights?" And I thought to myself, my 40-year-old self said, that is a bad idea. Things are going to get broken. People might get hurt. The 10-year-old me said, that is awesome. What an evil genius. So naturally, the lights went off. The game changed, though, once the lights went off. Because you don't know who's on what team, it was every man for themselves. And the way the battle was waged also changed. Because you're not shooting from afar. You're shooting up close and personal. You have to be very close to someone to shoot them, to be able to know that you're going to shoot them, right? Here's the thing, though. The favorite targets are eyes, ears, and the butt. The butt just because it's funny. And if they're shot in your eye or in your ear, it hurts. And as a 10-year-old, you're going to yell. So it's self-acknowledgement. My job went away. I did not have to call anybody because all you heard was, ow, ow. and you knew that they were out, right? So Matthew was really good at this. And the reason I know that was because that ow was always accompanied by, ow, Matt. And there you go. After several rounds of ow, Matt, we all came to the realization that you do not want to play Matthew Brown in the dark for Nerf paddles. You will not win. So that was one of the best birthday parties that I've ever had a pleasure to be part of. Love you, Matt. Nerf on, man.
Hi, everyone. So my funny Matthew story also involves Justin, but mostly Matthew. So in around, I think it was like 2015, I came to visit Matthew, stayed at his house, and he told me that we were going to go to Fassler Hall with a bunch of his friends. And I was a little salty because I was underage and I wanted to have a drink. So he's like, well, why don't we get you a flask and we'll just bring the flask and you can drink from the flask. I was like, okay, like, I guess that works. Well, little underage me got a little too drunk off the flask, and someone from Fassler Hall saw me drinking out of the flask, proceeded to ask me to leave. And Matthew came to my defense and was like, no, it's okay. You can just have the flask. And so I didn't know if any of you knew that you could get kicked out of Fassler Hall, but you can. And Matthew saved me from it. Love you, Matt.
Happy 40th birthday, Matthew.
Man, just over 40 years ago, your mom and I were headed from Fargo to Grand Forks when we hit a patch of ice, almost going in the ditch when the car corrected itself and we made it back to Grand Forks. And you were born just a couple weeks later. That's the story I remember best. But so much fun over the years. Trips to South Florida, go-kart riding, swimming with the manatee, great boat parade parties, even when there's not a boat parade, and all kinds of fun. Dinners in Vegas, soccer games, tournaments, everything. So happy for you. Another 40 to you. Happy birthday.
Looking forward to partying with you, Matthew.
Love you,
Party
buddy.
time.
So I just want to start with happy birthday, Matthew. Love you. Happy 40th. There are a lot of stories that I think about that I probably shouldn't ever tell. But I just want to start it out with, okay, crazy Matthew. So just thinking about this kid played professional poker for 7 years for his living. Thinking about that is wild. But to put that into context is I can't gamble with him because he will take it to the fullest extent. Great example is playing golf with him. He will stretch the boundaries all the time. He will double down anytime that he has a chance. He will push whenever the opportunity. But we played in Oklahoma City, and it was me, him, and another guy. And it came down to loser buys everybody else's dinner. Well, in classic Matthew fashion, we get to the last hole. He has to win the bet. And the bet is, full course meal with all the additions. And knowing Matthew, of course he won. Because, he's competitive as shit. So, that's just one example. The other is he has introduced all of us to credit card roulette, to where he will order the most expensive things all the time and somehow get out scot-free. Because why not? Other things of craziness are, don't ever give him peas. He will be stubborn enough to sit there, stare you in the eye, throw them up, and then tell you, oh, is this what you want from me? I don't know how else to explain or be a witness to Matthew, but every day is unique. Every day is always a journey and an adventure. But I think that's what we all love about him, is he always keeps you on your toes. I love you very much. I hope you have a great day.
Happy birthday, Matthew. In just a few days, you'll be 40 years old. Can you believe it? You were born on January 22nd, 1984. And you are one of only 4% of children that were actually born on their due date. So I should have known right then how driven and prompt you would always be when it came to your life, because you've always been those things. You started out such a good baby, except for that we had a little issue when you were 2 months old and you developed bronchiolitis, ended up in the hospital, which was very terrifying for me. But you made it through. You became much healthier and stronger and grew to be a lovely little boy who loved to go to bed. It would be, Matthew, it's time to go to bed. And you'd pick up your little Sesame Street blanket and walk down the hallway and stand next to your crib. Then when you moved out of your crib, it would be big boy bed, and you would crawl in that bed with all your stuffed animals and lay there until you knew that you were not to get up until you told me. And so you'd say, Mommy, I waked up. I waked up. And then I'd say, okay, Matthew, and away you'd come. Big, bright eyes, ready to have fun and adventure. And that's how you've lived your elementary days, daycare days, all of your days, full of adventure and some mischief, of course. And when your brother came along, you couldn't do anything without him. You had to have him by your side, telling him what it is that you wanted him to do. And like it or not, he usually did it. Now, when you started sports, your first sports was soccer. So we get to your first game, and you're under 6 years old. You're in the under 6 group. You're 5 years old, and you're out there kicking the ball like all 5-year-olds do. And you get a hold of that ball and you run down that field. And we're all yelling, other way, other way. But lo and behold, you made it to the goal, even though it was the opponent's goal. And you were so proud of yourself. And all we could do was join in your happiness, because you were so happy that you made that goal, even if it was for the other team. Then you started always pursued soccer with the utmost. I mean, you did the absolute best. You made everybody want to be a better player on the teams that you were on. You excelled at that with travel soccer and all those great kids that you became friends with over the years. You had so much fun. I had so much fun being that travel mom, getting to go to all of those places. It was just, it's wonderful memories for me. I gotta stop. Anyway, that was wonderful. You were great at school, great at daycare, always friendly, ambitious, did your best in school. You loved learning. You loved being around other people. You loved to play in the neighborhood. You were up and down the street, riding your bike, doing whatever. You were just great. Of course, there was always something ticking in the back of your head. Now let's see, how can I make a little money? So you started this little business when you were in school, selling rocket pops and Band-Aid gum and pencils and whatever. But you always had to have some little game going on so that people would be coming to you. Then you discovered golf with your grandpa. And you two were so wonderful together. And he instilled in you a love for golf that you pursued and were the absolute best at. Winning tournaments at the age of 15 and 16 when you'd only been playing for a couple of years. You were the Nature Walk champ. You were the champ at the country club. You just loved it. I mean, that's all you wanted to do was play golf when the weather was nice and you didn't have a soccer game or any other sports going on. But you did it all. You did soccer, you did baseball, you did wrestling, you did football, you did golf. You did it all. It was just so much fun to participate with you in all of those sporting activities. And it gave you an opportunity to meet so many wonderful people and friends, and they respected you, and you brought out the best in everybody. With your golfing, you then started with the Southeastern Junior Tour, which is a story I really should be telling with my mother. So we started off to go to the apple orchard area north of Atlanta. So it was you, your grandparents, and I, and we're there to support you. So Grandpa is walking with you. My phone is being crazy. Anyway, you're walking with Grandpa, and Grandma and I are in the cart. And so we want to be quiet and kind of be behind and not get in the way. But lo and behold, being that your mother is not a very good golf cart driver, we turn a corner and we flip over a sand thing, this big structure. And you're mortified, of course, but Mom and I jumped out of the cart with all the strength we could muster, and we pulled that cart up, put all those little sand things back in, and drove off. And you just kind of looked at us like, seriously, my first tournament, and you have to embarrass me like this? But, that was just part of having your mom alone. Gotta keep the party going, Anyway, you did a great job at everything that you did. Everything that you were interested in, you did great in school. You took Mosley to their first state championship tournament that they had been at in many, 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 many years. What you've been able to accomplish is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. You did so well academically, so well in sports, so well in leadership, so well with having so many friends to support and love you, and not to mention your family. Matthew, I think that's one of your best qualities, is how important family is to you. You want to keep us all together. You want to stay in contact. You just are amazing in how important family is to you. And that was made so apparent when your brother hiked the trail and you were there to support him. You were there to see him through his finish. And it was such a proud moment for all of us, but especially for you, Matthew, that you got to see your brother achieve his lifetime goal. And for that, I'm so thankful because you helped me to be there to experience it too. Thank you, honey. And now there's so many stories that I could tell, but I'm not going to take up all of this time. Everybody has been so gracious to participate in this video. But I just want to tell you how proud I am of you, of all that you've achieved. And now that you're this wonderful, loving dad, you are so good with those beautiful girls. They are so blessed to have you in their life. And I know that they will be your crown of glory, as you are mine. I love you, Matthew. Happy birthday to you, and may the next 40 years be spectacular. God bless you, sweetheart. I love you.
Matt, happy birthday, bro. So grateful for you. Hope you're well. It's been way too long. Your Florida move just happened to correspond with 2 kids entering college and cray. And I don't know what to say about it other than I have got to get to Florida 2024. Okay. Happiest 40th birthday from someone who entered his 40s 3 years ago. We are grateful for you and always have been since the very beginning. I can think of at least 3 things. My boys are playing in a creek right now. One sec, I'll be right with you. I promise. I'm sending a little recording to Matt Brown. They'll be good. Yeah, it's 70 degrees on December 29th. OKC style. What are you going to do? Anyway, the first memory, of course, is associated with a certain playfulness that you have towards children and or everyone. And that meant the world to my babies because you showed up just as the bishop had assigned me a new church and my grind became crazy and playfulness and gaming re-entered the home. That's huge, and it's huge for my children. They still want it. We got to get after it. We got to do it. We're grateful for that. Secondly, I still remember that time when Sweetie was like, I'm going to do 3 weeks in Colorado. I don't care what your crazy dumb schedule has to say about that. And you went and hung a week with them and then helped her get all the way home, which was the biggest deal and meant the world to me. Because sometimes you need a brother-in-law to help your wife out. And you did. And it was Fab Friday Fab. So grateful for that as well. Can't wait to see you guys soon. Can't wait to meet the new baby. It is crazy that y'all are chasing 2 around now. Once again, sorry for the miss on 2023. Glad City was able to get down to you guys and spend some time. I gotta get down there. There's a chance of a sabbatical coming up. If that happens, then it's just a matter of time. On the school side, which makes things far, far easier. Happiest 40th. God bless you. Y'all stay safe. Keep it real. And we'll see you soon. See you, bud.
Hey, Matt. Happy birthday. I can't believe you're 40. I mean, I guess I can, actually. I'm 40. I am supposed to do like a memory of when I first met you, but I think maybe I first met you at Easter. You came up on my front porch and maybe you had ridden your bike. And I remember Caitlin was like, don't offer him food. What are you doing? And we offered you food. And because you're Matt, you were like, yeah, I want a plate of food. Anyway, you just very quickly became a part of the family, and we're glad. And we're glad for how you've taken care of Caitlin and made her happy, and so grateful for how you have treated our kids and loved them so well, and thought about, how you can encourage them in their endeavors, from math tutoring to yard games to, my goodness, flying them out to visit you. You do not have to do any of that, and yet you have chosen to. And as a mom, that's something that I really value and I'm grateful for. So anyway, happy birthday. We love you. And hopefully we'll see you really soon. Have fun at your away.
Happy birthday, Matt. You're wonderful. You know what I mean? You're just the best. Love you a lot. I was told to think of first memories of you or funny things, and it's both. I remember talking about this at your wedding, but Caitlin reassured me you don't remember. So my first 2 memories of you were first deciding, yeah, we're gonna be friends, because of the meme that I showed you, that I tried to show Jesse and Caitlin, that was, welcome to Applebee's, would you like apples or bees? And they just looked at me, and you were falling on the floor, and I was like, this guy's cool. And then the other memory was you biking all the way from OKC to Edmond to see Caitlin, and I was like, first of all, that's the sweetest thing I've ever heard, and second of all, who is this freak, Anyway, those are my first 2 memories. I hope you have a good birthday.
Hey Matt, this is Jake and Tana.
Hello.
And we wanted to share our memories of you, our favorite and or funniest memories of you for your 40th birthday, because you're real old now.
Yeah, that's gross.
So my favorite memory of you, and something I actually think about a lot, is when we were in Colorado and you and I were enjoying some hot tub time. And I was asking for your advice from the perspective of a child of divorce, because I was heading into that world as a parent. And you gave me some really awesome advice. And I, like I said, think about it a lot, and it has guided me in a lot of ways. And I feel like made me a much better father to my children. And yeah, I just love you a lot and really appreciate having you as a brother.
That's really special. Mine is not so serious, and it's the first time I got to meet you and Caitlin, and we had gone over to your house to play games, and I was terrified. And then you broke the ice by saying you had tripped acid, and I knew that we would be best friends. So anyways, we have a lot of fun memories with you, and a lot that I'm sure we can't remember after a lot of tequila. So happy birthday. We wish we were there with you, and we'll definitely celebrate soon.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Matt. We love you.
Love you.
Matt, happy birthday. So the assignment was to record our favorite funny story or crazy story about you. And honestly, I don't have many crazy stories because, we just don't get crazy. But I do know that all of my memories of you include laughing hysterically at something or another, playing a game and laughing, having a drink and laughing, whatever it is. I just can't ever remember a time hanging out with you when we weren't just having a great time. So happy birthday, and thanks for being you, bringing just happiness and laughter wherever you go. I am so happy that you are part of my family, and that you and Caitlin are together. You're just great. So happy birthday, bud.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do this before Ellis wakes up. So we've known each other a little over 8 years now, and the memory that sticks out to me the most is working at Starbucks before we were together, and you were telling me about how you came to work at Starbucks through all the states and all the different jobs that led up to the moment where you applied at Starbucks. And I remember thinking that you were insane. That nobody gives up the kind of money that you were making to work at Starbucks, just on principle, because you said you would. And that's what happened. And it's crazy, but once you know you more, it totally makes sense. Anyway, so 8 years. In that 8 years, we've been through 4 moves throughout 2 different states, taking care of 2 dogs, visited roughly 25 cities, gone on 1 2-month road trip, attended 4 pro and 1 college sports ball games, been to several concerts, I cannot remember all of them, gotten married, and had 2 kids, which is crazy. There have been so many memories. Like, I can't, this video would be forever. But my favorite memory, I think, will always be, my favorite one to tell people about will always be about the Blue Pool in Oregon. And, you know, if you know, you know, and you know. So I'm not going to tell it right now, but that's a favorite memory. And just all in all, watching, like, seeing how you've changed and grown over the last 8 years and the challenges that you've taken on and tackled, and throughout jobs and moves and all of that, and seeing you become a dad and grow into that role over the last 2 years. Try not to cry. Our girls are just really lucky to have you. And so am I, and so is Kaya, because she's just in my way. To actually pet her, love on her. Anyway, I'm doing this video kind of last minute because it was a very daunting undertaking to think about, trying to sum up you. This is impossible. So I hope you've had a good birthday. I hope you had a great weekend last weekend with everyone. That was so fun. And I can't wait to see what the next 8 years bring together and more, or the next 40 years of your life. Happy birthday. I love you. You say happy birthday, Dada. Happy Dada. Say happy birthday, Dada. Happy Dada.